that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. Put the intent, know I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed it, blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spin. Made it, kill it, and did it again. Put the intent, know I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Yeah.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be taken about the 12. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
54. You got nothing today. You got nothing. Hey, kill. 26.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mike 54. I'm here all day. Here go 46. 54, right there. 26.
Prescott on first down. Buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
Now Elliott. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come off the ball. SOS.
SOS.
Here we go, 46. Hey, kill. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down.
Defense, let's go. Undercrush. Sponge. 26.
Prescott to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. So the Cowboys will punt it on fourth down, as on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. To throw is Wentz. Got his man there. It's Wallace, complete. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Go. 280. Bring it. Man 5-7. 54.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Second and 10 now from the 27.
82. Hey, check right. Watch 65. 5-7.
Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. He'll have a first down past the 40. Caught by the tight end Ertz. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here we go. Waiting for Tokyo. What we got?
On first down, Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Hey, Ford Tokyo! Hey, Steve 6! Steve 6!
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, Greg. 25, check 25. Lefty.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And some space to move right away as he's hauled away up to the 30. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Sunday.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Wentz now to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Wentz. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Waiting. Hey, empty. Ram.
On first down, they run with Howard. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Wentz going to throw. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's brought down. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Check. Crunch. Check three. Check. Lucky.
Go.
Switch.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, because the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
A first down throw for Prescott. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
There we go. Right there, 54 Mike. Stop your whining.
Here's Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, D-back, let's go. We're going to 53. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4.
From the red zone now, Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
At the Eagles' 14-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Now Prescott. The quick slant caught. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Mike's 54. Let's get off the field.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal with the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try again with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. They complete it to Hill. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That's 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Come on, baby. I'm coming, baby. Mark 54. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys.
Here's Wentz to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. Wentz now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
Here I come.
From the red zone now, Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Lefty.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here we go. 180! I'm coming after you! Check nine! One. Great 57.
On second down, here's Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. But now it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Running with Howard. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on fourth down. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Check. Watch 54. We're going to 54. Line in. Check. No. Here we go. Kill. Here we go. Going to 54. Line in. 26.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott caught by Wilson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
First down, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. To throw is Prescott. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. Flag. Kill. 5. Hang in there now. Hang in.
Now Wentz. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
81.
Now Wentz. Caught here by Griffin. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Here we go. 280. 54 Mike. Full goal. Watch the ship. Right flag. Watch the ship.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Elliott is good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get a 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Howard. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We're soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
87. Check the hot read. Watch take the creep. Watch take the creeping. Ram. He's coming.
They run with Howard. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Go. 280. 54. Mike 54. I'm going to run you over. Outside, solid. 657. Check 24. Check.
On play action, Wentz. Ertz has it left side. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 34. To throw, it's Wentz. It's Hill, complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6.
Kill. 54. Hey, wahoo! 54. Yeah, that's right. Run. Taxi. Here.
To throw is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
74. Hey, Haywood. Man 5-7.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
27.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check. Check 13. Check 13.
From the 39, Prescott nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's good for 28 yards.
Go. 180. Let's 5 seconds. It's just me and you.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Complete to Bryant. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Not today. Hey, Charlie. Did you want the mic?
Wentz now to throw. He's able to find Wallace. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
A gain of 12. First down, Eagles.
Wentz now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Wentz. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Sunday. Hey, Foxtrot.
Now Wentz. And he's going to go down again. DeMarcus Lawrence, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Sunday.
On third and long, it's Wentz. And going deep for Hill. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here we go. Pac-Man. Ready?
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Kill.
Kill.
Check.
Check 26. Check 26. Slant. X3. 218. Chopper. Here we go.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he is going to lose yardage here. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington.
Watch the twins.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, Rip on 2, on here.
Wentz going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick by Elliott is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
The 37-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
We own it.
Throwing. Prescott. And he's got Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Here we go. Watch my board. Go, go, go.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. Sliding. Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Prescott on first down. Flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Mike 54. Kill. Check 31. Check 31.
On first down, it's Elliott down to the 25. Brought down by Nate Gary.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Your track. We're going to 53.
Pollard going to try the right side. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. He's at the 50. The 30. The 20. 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
In your face.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
From the 29, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Prescott now. Going to look deep for Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
There we go, Pac-Man. 120! Trey 15, Trey 15! 46 down, Marathon 4.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Come on, baby, come on, let's go.
Hey, high 7.
Wentz now on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hampton. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Second and 6 at the Cowboys' 24-yard line.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6.
Lion.
Lamar Miller. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now a give, right side. It's Grant, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott connects here with a tight end, Blake Jarwin. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field, and they find each other for the completion.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. A first down throw for Prescott. And a completion to Wilson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Prescott yet again. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Philadelphia, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gautin saying so long, everybody.